Today we're taking the honey crop off. Hello, I'm Griffith, welcome to Gwenyn Griffith. Here we talk everything beekeeping, farming, countryside living, and we do reviews as well. Now, this is the second time of us doing this video. We filmed this video on Monday and turned out the whole video recorded but no sound. So it is Friday now, not Monday, and we're still pulling the honey off. Now we are still in Cardigan pulling. Not a massive crop up here so far. We're averaging 2 supers, but the supers are looking pretty good, like this and like that. Some smaller units have still produced a super as well so far. So basically in this video we'll talk you through what we're doing. We're actually blowing the bees out in Cardigan today. Andy is just back there getting the Apiary. We're doing everything today, so we're not just pulling, we're putting treatments in and we're feeding. We're doing everything. So basically we're going to start off blowing bees out. We're going to put the Apiary in, we'll film us doing that. Drop a feeder on, we put wood wool in our feeders now, we don't use the plastic cap. And then once you finish, what you're left with then is bees coming into the entrance and repopulating, or basically filling the bottom box up fully with the bees. None of these are too big to squeeze down into a single box. They're doing okay. Last 3 weeks there's not much honey been coming in. I think we had a really good spring, a good start to the summer, and basically we could have cropped this honey last month. I think we may have had a little bit more honey. There's one dead out we had here. It was full of honey, you can tell by the frames that's been robbed out, but hopefully the honey is in these boxes. There's some robbing happening here, you can see, so there's probably something wrong with that one. That one could be another dead out, and that's what happens when you don't do weekly inspections. You check everything over and you go back later on, things looking good, and then next time you come there's nothing there. They've swarmed or the queen has failed and they failed to make a new queen, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're on with the bees, it gets robbed out. And you tend to find it at this time of year when you go around, but better to die out now and not to die in the winter once we've costed up feeding and treating into them. So that's what we're doing. We'll show you the process of blowing bees, putting treatments in and feeding them all in one visit. You want to say anything, Andy?
No, just that it's robbing isn't ideal, but you have to take into account the diesel and the time considerations of going every week to inspect all the time. You know, you might go to a colony 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 12 times in the summer, and it would have been fine anyway. So all that time you've gone back, it's all wasted.
And that's one thing I forgot to say, you actually want your bees to die, or percentage of them to die, because all the dead outs we pick up now, we melt the whole brood box out. Those boxes get clean, sterilised, new frames of foundation, and then that unit goes back out. That's really, really good for disease control, because you never know, if something had disease and it's died out, the last thing you want to do is for that box to go back into the production, back into the supply and spreading that disease. So that's our take on it. Any kind of dead outs we get, whether it's queen related or not, we melt the box out, we sterilise it, and we start again. And basically a new nuke now will take, well, it's back there, will take the place of that unit, and we'll end up getting more honey. So sometimes the more bees you do lose, it's an excuse to fill it with fresh new nukes that will outperform any old colony. Right, let's get these boxes blown out. I'd always like giving the bees a little bit of smoke before we do blow them. See how that's getting rid of a pile of bees? Because blowing is a bit rough on the bees. You don't kill them, but you don't want to do this with nasty colonies. So we always want to blow at the entrance, so the bees coming out of this now will go back into the unit. My Ego battery works not better than petrol, but it's quieter for the bees, don't wind them up so much. There we go. That's basically empty. Alright, if you grab that, Andy. We carry the supers out. Not much walking today, thankfully. And onto the trailer. Now Andy is very good at keeping track of what honey is from our apiary. Andy's very good at that. And we're going to do a video. Andy's developed a little note system where we don't record stuff down for every hive, but he's developed I know, a PDF or a document, what you call it.
Yeah, a spreadsheet that we track stuff on an apiary level. If you've got a problem, deal with it when you see it, and then just keep track of the apiary as a whole. And that works really well for us. We know how many supers are on hives. We know what type of hives we've got. Are they doubles? Are they singles? We do the similar thing with nuke yards as well. We can keep track of how many supers we've cropped. So we've got an understanding of that. On there as well, we've got our disease inspection, disease stuff. We've got the treatment. So for Dash, we get audited and we have to prove and show what we've been doing with treatments. So we've got our records integrated into that now. And then with feed as well, we record how much feed we've given, what type of feed. So then we can help get a better idea of cost of production, which is really important if you're bee farming. If you're just doing it for yourself as a little hobby, your time isn't necessarily worth anything. You're just doing it as a hobby, just for fun. But like us, we've got to make a profit. We need to know what our costs, our inputs are.
But sometimes I think I'm doing it for the labour of love. And every beekeeper does as well. Right, on the trailer, what we got here? So there was one deader on the bottom, and we got honey. Basically, we put a clearer board on upside down, so this stops the robbing when we're on site. But when we drive off, then we actually take the clearer boards off, so we bleed the bees all the way back, so we're not ending up back on the yard with a load of bees. The biggest problem we got is when we crop honey into the back of the truck, we end up with a lot of bees back on the farm because the blower isn't 100%. I bet you if I pull some frames out of here, these are a bit too tight. It'll come out now. And there you go, you can see some bees. We're not the best frame. If we come into the middle, it's getting a bit better once you go in. Well, you can see the bees. And once you start loading up the truck, I think we get 50 supers in the truck. Is that where we worked out? 40, 50 in the truck?
Yeah, around that, just under that.
Going 5 high, was it? 10, 20, 40. We get 40 supers on the truck at that level, plus whatever surplus we need in the back of the truck. But we get a clearer board on that now, and it just makes the job manageable without crazy robbing on the trailer. And because we're taking a little bit more time today, putting treatments and feeding at the same time, we're not just stripping the supers and going, we're staying and doing it as we go. So a little bit of time goes to do it like this, but everything now is done in one trip. We don't have to come back and take the supers and everything off. And we'll go a little bit more of that because we still use clearer boards, probably more clearer boards than anything, but we're pretty far from base here, and we want to try and reduce the mileage. But we'll talk a little bit more about that in the car. For now, let's show you the rest of the process.
Thanks, Griff. Here we go, I'm just going to put the apiary code on the hives. So I have assigned a code to every apiary, just so I don't have to write out the whole name on every box. And I've put 25 next to it as well, so we know we took that box off this year. Just because I like it. It's probably not useful for anything, but I like a code.
Now, we don't sell the honey by apiary, but we do extract it by apiary and we store it by apiary in buckets. So when we do a batch of honey, we can work out where that honey has come from. Every batch will be different. That is how we like to do things, and I think that's a good way to do it. If we sold it by apiary, I just think we'd have too many lines. It's a really strong box of bees. You can see these bees now, that's been blown out. They're coming back in. How are you doing that, Andy?
So I'm putting the Apiary in. So we want to get our treatments in now. It helps the bees get through to winter. Around this time of the year is the peak for varroa. So they'll have been building up slowly all year. And as your bees then start to slow down their laying, the varroa are a much higher percentage versus the bees than they would have been earlier in the year. So we want to get the treatments in to curtail that varroa. And we're using Apiary. So there's lots of different treatments you can use. So we're using Apiary. It's a miticide that has no resistance in the UK for varroa, which is excellent. There are other treatments you can use as well, but for us this is ideal. It's expensive, but it really works. And you just put strips into each hive. You don't have to do complicated, long-winded processes. You put it in, you come back 8 weeks later, and you take it out again.
And we know it's 8 weeks later because Andy writes it down on the sheet in the file.
So in my file, I'll log down now that we put the Apiary in here today. I'll log down that we put in Apiary, so I know what treatment we put in. I'll put down the batch number, so if we have to recall that for whatever reason, we've got that. And I'll be putting down the expiry date as well, and then how much we've used.
Proper job. Now, nice. This is a nice box of bees. Really strong. When they're looking like this now, there's no point inspecting that for winter. I can just tell you that is good to go in the winter. The only hives we'd expect now is hives that look like there's a problem. So if something is queenless, we can decide if you want to shake it out. But if they're looking like that, if we start lifting frames there now, you just risk killing the queen, so there's no need. Now, that's the treatments in, and there's only one thing left now. We'll give it a little bit of feed.
Right, so this is one of the English feeders. I think we call them tray feeders.
Which we actually sell as well.
Which we do sell. When you buy them, they come with a plastic cup that sits over this entrance hole. The theory is the bee comes up here with the cup over the top. They go down inside the cup against this wall here, and there's little perforations at the bottom. So the bees can get to the syrup, but they don't get into the syrup, and they won't drown then. However, it does have some drawbacks. If you have a hive on an angle, you may have a cup here, syrup at the bottom, but because of the cup, the bees can't get out to reach it. And they will also then leave syrup as well, because even if they've drunk most of it, there'll still be residue everywhere that can go mouldy. So what we do is we put wood wool in our feeders and we take the cup away. You can put straw in, some people put wood shavings maybe. And what this does is it allows the bees to walk through the syrup and not drown, which is ideal, because you drown a lot of bees in a feeder this size, but they can come up, walk across, and happily walk back. When they're done, you'll find that this whole feeder is bone dry. There won't be a drop left. So we've maximized the usage of the syrup, we've reduced the cleaning because there won't be mold, and we've massively reduced the amount of bees that will die as well. So that's our method.
And that's actually not something I've come up with. The first guy I saw doing that was David Wainwright. I'm sure you've all watched the David Wainwright videos, and basically David told us get wood wool, the feeders work a lot better, and that's what we're doing. And we're actually mixing a little bit of DIY syrup today.
So this is a syrup I mixed, well, sometime this week probably. We do love to use the Appy invert that we sell from Suzuka, but we need to keep some in stock for you guys. So we made up a load ourselves with some damaged sugar that we got off of a wholesaler. Warmed using the pumps, they warm up. Using a sewage pump, it just turns the syrup over and pump it, and then just have it gravity fed out of a tank into these drums that we've got spare.
So we will probably do another video on that mixing tank we've got, because we've been fiddling a lot with it. This year now it's working a lot better, but we're still struggling to do 2 to 1 with it. So this is a 1.75 to 1. We're going to do that now until we run out of the salvage sugar, which we've got. I think we bought 5 pallets of salvage sugar this year. We're probably 1 pallet through already, or what was left on that pallet. And we'll be going back to the IBC then. We've actually used one IBC up of Apiary invert already, and we're just going to use the damaged sugar up now, so you know we haven't got rat problem in the winter storing it. And once that's out, we'll go back to the IBC. We're keeping the Apiary invert basically for the nukes. I like to give the nukes the best possible feed, and they're going to get the Apiary invert in these honey hives. They're getting a DIY mix with thymol. Right, so that's enough talking. We're going to crack on, get this whole site stripped. We've only done 1 pallet, and we'll see you in a bit. It's a hot one today, I can tell you that now. Alright, so here's one that wasn't looking the best. We got a mountain of dead bees outside, which straight away would tell me this colony has probably had some kind of CPPV at one time. You can smell the death. So when the bees get CPPV and you get a mountain of bees outside, you can smell, it smells like death. So we've got basically 2 half supers full of honey, which isn't very good. And I just wanted to check. So we have got brood. It's not looking amazing. We've got a little bit of sac here, but plenty of healthy brood there. So immune system wise, they're not 100%. There's a little bit better frame, sealed eggs, more sealed. None of the larvae look like it's anything to worry about. I can see plenty of eggs, there's pollen. And that's what you'll tend to see that when bees get one kind of disease. So if they get CPPV or something, the immune system is down, they're much more likely to get chalk, sac, any other kind of viruses. And that's what's happened here. Now I think these are recovering themselves. So we're going to put treatment in, we're going to feed as usual, and we'll just see. But this has definitely been hit by disease. CPPV is what I would say, and it's just brought in these secondary diseases as well. But it looks to me like they're building back up, and a little bit of feed and a treatment now will do these a lot of good. And you can tell there's no more honey out there. Look at these trying to get in. If we didn't have that clearer board on, there'd be some serious robbing going on there. Right, so we're just on another site cropping. We've already cropped half of this start of the week, and we've come back to finish off. Now basically, this is a monster hive. It was a double brood. Now we don't want bees on double brood really, because they tend to fill the top box up with honey by the end of the season, and I feel like it's a waste. But anyway, these ones, sorry, the bees attacking the GoPro here. These ones, the top brood box was full, so we've just done a bit late for a walkway split, but that's what we've done. We've moved the brood box here. Now you can see we're lacking in bees a little bit now because the commotion of shifting. But what we're going to do now is we're going to wait about a quarter of an hour till we finished stripping. We're going to move that hive to there, and then that hive back there, and that will redistribute the bees in each boxes. That's the plan. That's what we're going to do. Is it going to work? I don't know, but we'll find out. We've got nothing to lose. That Welsh gold, that's what we like to see, and the trailer filling up. Right, that's the site cropped, and you can see not many bees fly in. Lots of bees fly in, so I don't know where the queen is. She could be in either, I don't know. But that box is going there, and that box is going there. Bees wise, it'll be pretty level. Still a lot more bees will fly out of there to come back. but it'll have more bees than what it currently has. Now half this site we have already cropped start of the week, this including one of them, and I thought, well, what was it, 2 days, Andy, since we cropped it?
3 days.
3 days ago. Alright, feeder is totally empty. No drowned bees. They've sucked all that up. Let's check the one next door. Maybe half an inch or so up left in that one. Look at them, sucking it up. Storing that for their winter feed. Right, let's swap these boxes round. Right, clear the boards is off. All the empties, the drums and everything is in there. Now the reason we take the clear boards off, we're going to lose the bees now when we're driving home, and they're going to come back here. If they were in that truck, they'd come with us all the way back home. Right, we're just going to drive down the lane a little bit, get out of these suits, stop in the petrol station for some snacks, and we got to make the hour trip back home. And it's been alright today, Andy, innit? It's
been pretty good. Yeah, well, I mean, we'd done half this site the other day. We basically, if we're honest, we were doing it, it was 31 degrees, we're in a bee suit.
It was 3:30.
It was 3:30, and we just said, that's enough. So we came home. But
it was both of us sweating pints, wasn't it?
I just said I've lost it today.
And well, we pulled a good site. Well, further down the valley first as well, and that gave us a decent crop.
A decent crop, yeah.
This site's been good. Some of these, a lot of these done 3, mostly 2. The other site was the same, but where we were this morning, they've only done 2 each. That was the most disappointing one so far. Now we are in Cardigan, this is West Wales, right by the coast. No arable crops to get honey. It has been very, very dry here for the last 3 weeks. Nothing's come in the last 3 weeks, innit?
Well, I mean, I'd sort of said, I came here on the 10th of 7th, which was about 6 weeks ago, and I said at the time I had a good idea of how much honey's in, and they've done a little bit, but realistically it's probably only 4 boxes extra since then that they've done. Between them all? Between them all.
Yeah.
So, not huge amounts at all.
Summer came and gone like that this year. Not quite the crops you saw Victor get on the borage fields, but I take this for West Wales. This is okay. Right, time to get out of this bee suit. Isn't that the best feeling? Soaking wet, but when that bee suit comes off, whoo! That's good, Andy, taking it off, isn't it?
Absolutely. I'm gonna have to change my t-shirt, I think.
We don't want to film that, do we?
One second, so I'm comfortable on the way home.
Right, petrol station next up. There's a petrol station up here where you can get a takeaway tea for £1, and it's a nice PG Tips one as well, so that's where I'm going. For my Yeti water bottle, oh, it's almost empty. Right, see you in the back of the farm for a recap. Right, that is it. The honey is unloaded. Hopefully the sound is working on this video. We had a little bit better crop on Monday, didn't we?
We did,
yeah. I think this was a better video, but we had a better crop when we filmed it last time. But sometimes you come back, the trailer's full, sometimes it's half full, sometimes it's 3/4 like it was today. But there was no point going to another site. We'd never get the boxes on. And that's basically what we're going to be doing probably for the next at least 4 weeks.
I'd say so, yeah.
Yeah, but at least we're feeding and treating. We're doing the first round of feeds now and treating, so that does take a pressure off. Because next week will be a whole day doing nukes, and the week after a whole day doing nukes. and then that's it for queens. Unless someone gives me an offer I can't refuse, we're not buying any more queens. That is it. So that's what we're doing. We're going to, well, by the time this video comes out, David's event would be today. We're going to David's or Wainwright's Honey Festival, which is in Aberystwyth Sunday. So if you are watching this Sunday morning and you're not that far from Aberystwyth, head over to the honey factory. It's going to be a great day. We're there, Victor's going to be there, Border Honey's going to be there, as well as lots of other bee farmers and beekeepers. It'll be a really good day. The weather's promising it to be really good. And maybe see you guys there. If not, see you in the next video.
Goodbye.